Well, in wake of the whole coronavirus thing, I would start this episode off by saying, well, school's catching up to me like I have for like the last couple times, but I guess it really can't catch up to me. I mean, there are assignments, but well, in light of this, I guess I'll just finish off Mega Man X, at least like the Maverick stages. Then we'll get into the Sigma stages another time. Uh, I think what I'm gonna do in this episode is going to Sting Chameleon, finish him off, and then go through the rest of the Maverick revisits so that we can just get the items, leave, and we'll be finally ready for the last couple areas. So let's go. I think Stig Chameleon's stage is pretty decent. It's not the most intricate thing ever. I just like the music. I do like the environment. It's this cool, like, robotic forest. Pretty cool combination. I mean, nothing too unique. I mean, I'm sure Sonic's done that a lot. I want to point out, this part of the music, I have no idea why. It just makes me think of King Dedede falling over several times to that drum. I just can't explain. It's one of those things, you know? Right here, these annoying, like, water spiders are back. Interestingly, that little patch of water, or inside the patch of water, there's a bush thing. What is that right there? What's that? Oh my god, it's a Met! That's so creative. I love that. That's just like one of those little things that really, really make this game shine, in my opinion. Just those extra little touches. These lumberjacks here, back from Chill Penguin stage. Like, you know, this is like a good send-off stage, I find. I can't explain it why. It's not like every enemy is here. It just really is a nice stage to end on. I usually do. Right here, this section, this is always here, but the water in this section only appears when you have already beaten Launch Octopus. It's not really clear. And unless you had beaten Launch Octopus, you wouldn't even know that water would appear here. It's one of those things that, like, I think a bit more of direction would have helped there. I don't really know. So right here, you gotta dash jump and make a leap of faith right here. And grab that heart tank. I was about to call it like a heart piece from Zelda. I've been playing a lot of Zelda recently. I was thinking of maybe, after X1, you know, I'm not going to go right into, like, the sequels. I think I'm probably going to, you know, take a break, maybe go into, like, Wario Land, because I know, like, Raj, he was asking about it, so I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Here's what's interesting about this section. These rocks falling right here, it's kind of annoying, right? If one of them would be so kind as to fall on my head, yeah. See, it actually breaks on if you have the head plate, whatever this is, the helmet. Yeah, the head plate. That's a good word for it. But if you go up here, the path slowly closes behind you. That's an awesome little image right there. And this boss is a total turd nugget. I'm gonna ignore the fact that I just used the word turd nugget, assuming it is a word. You have to hit it in the head. You can't hit it just where the claw is, like there. You need to hit it right in the head. And over time, this boss will produce more smoke out of its face to show you how weak it is, but it takes a long time. And by then, your fingers start hurting. It's just... I don't even know if this thing has any invincibility frames. Oh, finally got a little bit of smoke. But it starts putting a lot more smoke out once you start weakening it even more. Well, it's starting to get there. Also, you're never sure if he's just going to retract his claw once it hits a wall, or, like, pull himself towards the wall. I think you've seen that once or twice. See, obviously when he doesn't hit a wall, he's just naturally going to retract it. That's why I just tend to keep him on the extreme parts of the stage, and then you just go to the other side. You don't want to keep him around the middle-y area. See, right here, he might actually latch onto the wall. Oh, just barely not. Okay. Okay, now he's really... Come on. Come on, he's so close. There we go. Bitch. Oh, nice.
This capsule contains a new type of body armor. It will reduce damage to your systems by 50%.
Oh yeah, we're getting an armor upgrade. Now this upgrade, it actually, as he said, it drops the damage you take by 50%. That is a really good deal. And later entries in the series, they tend to give the armor upgrade, the body armor, an extra bonus. In X2, they gave it this Giga attack once you've taken enough damage. But right now, that's all it does. If you'll notice, after beating that boss, assuming that you didn't die, like, after you beat him, the rocks will stop falling. There are still a few of these guys right here. But overall, good stuff. You don't have to worry about these rocks. They're just kind of get in the way, really, once you have the helmet upgrade. Ow, sorry. Just take your time with these guys. Pretty easy. And then you just start charging the hell out of the stage. These woodpeckers right here got nothing on me. Another Met. Okay, yep, I'll admit you got me. That guy didn't get me though. Grab this very generous life. It's just in the middle of nowhere, not really guarded by anything. I mean, there was that like that Joe whatever, but he was under it. He wasn't like in front of it. We got one more ride armor right here. I'm just gonna tank through this section here. Because, like, really, I mean, what do you expect at this point? This right here, you can slowly descend in the mud or the tar or whatever it's supposed to be. It's swamp water. What are you doing in my swamp? Dude, what are you doing in my swamp, dude? Alright, he's dead. Cool. Cool beans. And you're a little too tall to enter the door, so we gotta abandon the ride armor. Sucks, but what do you gotta do? It'd be awesome to fight this guy in a ride armor. They actually do allow you to do that once in X4. That was kind of interesting. I remember this guy used to give me a lot of trouble back in the day. I really don't know why. He's not that bad. The only thing you really have to watch out for are those spikes that come from the ceiling. You'll see in a minute. What he tends to do is go invisible. And you see how those wavy lines right there? If he just starts moving immediately while the wavy lines are still in effect, then he's going to go on the top left or top right corner. If you see the wavy lines stop right before he starts to move, that means that he's going to get pretty close to you. And he's going to start throwing his tongue at you like this. Sometimes he also shoots his tongue out on the ground. Probably the easiest thing is when he's on the corners and he's just shooting these tail spikes. These are pretty easy to dodge. You just really sit down on the opposite corner and he won't get you. Did I mention his motivation? I think it was that, like, he never got promoted, because I guess he was unpopular. And at that point, I think he used the Maverick Rebellion as an excuse to basically kill everyone he didn't like, and then rise through the ranks. Something like that? I don't know. He's a little bit of a nutcase. I won't deny that. Kind of like him, though. His redesign's alright. The tail's a little, like, circular, which is a little weird to me. But what can you do? Surprisingly, he really hasn't been uncooperative. He's been very cooperative. Oh my god. Are you gonna... Yeah, see, he just keeps stopping before the wavy lines start moving. It really does help to have the armor and a lot of heart tanks at this point. Because the spikes coming out of the ceiling can be a little difficult to dodge. I don't know, I found that kind of stuff hard to dodge whenever there's just like random objects falling from the ceiling. Even if you have like a fair bit of reaction time, sometimes it's not the easiest to dodge. That's just like a general thing for games. Alright, you know what? Let's make this fight a bit close. Come on, come here. No, I'll just touch these spikes up on the ceiling. They don't kill you. They just hurt. Ow. Ow. Alright, I might actually die here. Somebody call an ambulance! But not for me. I feel like I very much just, like, set up that joke as much as possible. Literally resorting to, like, almost killing myself just for that punchline. It wasn't... I had that in my head. In, like, just to see, like, what I would say about the stage. It really... It wasn't worth it. But now we got the Chameleon Sting. The three-way... shot. I don't know what you call it. Here's that new password. And... got more story, I guess. Finally, we found Sigma's fortress. Let's go in and put an end to his war against the humans. I guess they finally just found it. You'd think he would be a little less secretive if he was so like, oh, I'm almighty and powerful and stuff, but like, I guess he was hiding it from us. It's like a really good look for him, by the way. That like sort of like Elvis lift, is that what you call it? I don't know. Just look with the lip. I like it. Yeah, every time I look at this picture, I always like interpret it as like the cape is like these really like hunched over shoulders, and he's just like, you know, is like he's hiding his neck from like hunching over his head. But like, no, that's I know that's just the cape. Anyway. We have a couple of revisits. I'm just going to go through them in this episode. So, I'll see you back at Chill Penguin stage really late in. Alright, here we are. Right before the ride armor. What I'm going to do is ride this thing home. Alright, come on, let's... oh, okay, that was close. As soon as you get hit by something, you sort of lose a lot of your jump height. And that was pretty short-lived. But if you jump over here to the left, I think I've mentioned this the first time. You go over here to this little, I don't know, home for the bugs. Use your flamethrower. And there you go. There's an extra little heart piece. Is that everything? You'll know you have full health once your max health is 4 more bars higher than your weapon ammo bar, and I think it is. I'm gonna just be sure about that. Actually, let me see. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can sort of tell visually. It's like in increments of 2. It's not that hard to surmise, but like it's just a better visual. Anyway, now just for a really short visit back to Spark Mandrill stage. Like I might as well just talk right here. You know, unrelated. I hope this, you know, this coronavirus stuff blows over. I think it will. It won't take too long, I find. Hopefully. But you know, I'm really excited for Animal Crossing later this month. That'll be good. You just jump right here. What we want to do is sort of jump low. Yeah. So, like, jump up here, and then, like, make sure that by the time the thing is about to arc back to you, that you're already on the ground, or, like, you're lower than it. Because if you're on the same height, then it'll arc upwards. And you want it to arc downwards to grab the sub-tank. Also, I don't think I mentioned this. This is a really cool item. If you shoot some ammo, you know, obviously it'll come back to you. And assuming it doesn't hit anything like an enemy, you get the ammo back, and you can just keep using it. Now if you do this, then it's gone. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, this is kind of fun, actually. Oh, this is actually... okay, well, it's clearly not going anywhere. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, wait. Yeah, there we go. Orbiting around the ladder. That's pretty sick. I wasted so much time trying to get that. Alright, anyway, with that, it's time to go through one more revisit. I'm pointing out, we basically have everything. We have all the heart tanks, all the sub-tanks at this point. There's one more sort of armor upgrade, and it's an Armored Armadillo stage. I'm just gonna, like, go through the stage. I'm not gonna, like, cut to, like, the actual armor. I want to point out that this does not save with a password. The password will keep track of, like, your heart tanks and your sub-tanks. It will not keep track of this item. Something that will be very good for this item is if you don't have a lot of lives, you want to grind off of this one bat, the bubble bat, that it looks like the classic Mega Man bats. For God's sakes, don't eat it, though. Just gonna get a few lives. I don't know if I'm gonna max myself out, because, like, I don't need that many, but I need at least, like, 5 or 6. I'm gonna... Doesn't always happen, but usually does. I don't know. I'll just get one more from this guy. This guy's being very uncooperative today. Alright, we're good, yeah. So, yeah, I'm wondering how my classes are gonna work now. Is everything gonna be online? I guess it'll have to be. Sometimes they just decide, you know, it'll just throw the lecture notes up there, and you know, we'll give you the assignments. We don't know what we're doing with the exams yet. I'm like, well, that's a good sign. It seems like nobody knows what they're doing. It's such a bizarre, unprecedented event, so I'm not really that surprised. I don't really blame anyone, but, like, man, it seems like half the messages I get are just like, well, we don't know what to do about this. So, you know. Well. Anyway. That's my personal problem. And all of your own personal problems, I guess. But really, it's not much personal at all, and ow. Sometimes I underestimate how far to the right I actually have to be for this guy. So get used to this, how do you call it, checkpoint. Yeah, get used to this checkpoint. You're gonna see it a lot with me respawning right there. This probably would have been a better idea to cut this off, but, like, it's not too far at this point. And we get to see the birds again. Birds are cool. Ultimately, a little pointless. You see this ledge right here. I'm just gonna get the power up. You don't actually need to go this far. There is sort of like a limit to how far you actually need to go. Then you just die and try again. Alternatively, I think you could just, like, go into the boss's room, leave, and then, like, re-enter the stage. But, like, no, that's, like, way longer. Why would I do that? If you're really against dying, I guess you could do that. So I recently got, like, I think it was like a GBA flash cart. I want to see how that stacks up. I also have an R4, so I'm not really... I hope it's, like, also pretty cool. I don't know. So really, like, you just plug it into a DS, and then you have, like, it's dual slots, both full of this, like, flash cart madness. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. I just want to see what kind of cool cheats I can do. Because, like, sure, I could do it on emulator, but, like, this is, like, just one step, like, below emulator. Alright, how many lives do I have? 4. I think it should appear on the next life, presumably. You know, I keep looking at those waterfalls in the background. Do they move? Maybe it's because I die and things just freeze, but, like, things don't really freeze when you die. Unless the backgrounds do. It would seem a little weird if those waterfalls didn't move, but, like, I don't think they do. I know I'm harping on this, I just legitimately am curious about this. Like, let's see... Oh no, they move. They move. Alright, wait, hold on. When I jump off a cliff, do they still move? They don't! That's so weird. They actually do stop when you jump off. But like most enemies, they usually still like keep walking around and stuff when you die. It's like, I don't know, that's weird. Unless like it's just the way I died, like if I went too far to the left there, I don't know. I'm really having a hard time pinning this down. Here we go. So, for this to spawn, I should have probably mentioned this a little earlier, you need to have been all 8 Mavericks, you need to have gotten all 8 heart tanks, and I think all 4 sub-tanks, although I've heard conflicting, information about that. And then you need to go here and basically come in this area like 4 or 5 or 6 times, however many it is. I don't know if like the initial time against Armadillo counts as a time, so really just keep dying and respawning here. Even if you end up game overing, it still like keeps track of the counter, so don't worry about that too much.
I give you a special present. Now enter the capsule, please.
And that's all there is. You notice the that whatever you call that, that almost like a belt around his forehead, whatever that is. Is that a bandana? I guess that's a bandana, yeah. Wonder what that was about. Oh, you're upgrading my arms. Well, we don't really have another arm upgrade, do we? Oh, yes. We get the Hadoken. So you actually pull it off the same as in Street Fighter. That is, what was it, like, quarter circle forward, and then Y. So you start from down, then go down right, and then press Y in very quick succession. The only problem with this is it seems like occasionally, as you're seeing right here, sometimes you'll also shoot like a regular shot before doing it. I don't really know why. Like, I don't know, it doesn't come out 100% of the time, and I feel that, like, maybe I'm doing something wrong all the time, but, like, I feel like sometimes it's just not the most consistent thing. Oh, wow, it even cancels a charge shot. That's kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, that thing's, I'm just gonna say it right now, I'm gonna understate it a little bit. It's kind of powerful. That's about the extent of what I'll say about it. And I'm not going to use it during the fortress stages because it's kind of powerful. I'll definitely make like a bonus section there where I definitely use it as like a sub thing, and you'll see like how it works. But yeah, that's it for this episode, and that was quite an eventful one. Probably should have cut out a lot of that stuff, realistically. But yeah, so next time, Sigma stages. I'm gonna spoil this right now. I think the first stage is pretty damn awesome. Second stage is whatever, and the third stage can go bite it. The fourth stage is just, eh. Alright, so yeah, I'll see you then.